So in this video, we are going to use some different scanning techniques. We are going to figure out what operating system a target machine is running. This feature is really handy as it's a part of Nmap and it relies on the large database of Nmap, which has a large number of footprints of different operating systems. So when we compare these characteristics of target machines in our Nmap, the database makes an educated guess about the operating system, matching the footprints or fingerprints of the operating system. However, Nmap, to successfully identify an operating system, the target machine must have at least one open or closed port. This is because Nmap needs to interact with the target's network stack, which isn't possible if the machine is configured to block all the ports. So let's go ahead and test out few machines. We will first start with our Metasploitable, then we will go with the Windows 7 virtual machine, and last but not the least, we will scan our Windows 11 host machine as well. So let's begin with the scanning Metasploitable machine, which is running on Linux. So to enable OS detection in Nmap, we will use command -o. This instructs Nmap to attempt OS detection. So let's try it practically right now. So let's first clear our terminal and type nmap-o and IP address of our Metasploitable, that is 192.168.29.122, and we will hit enter. And as you can see, the Nmap has been performed and we have a report. It is showing that host is up. It has given the normal output that a normal Nmap scan would give, but it has given us some more information. That is, it is running a Linux 2.6 some version. We have OS details right here. We have network distance, that is 1 hop. Now what this 1 hop means? 1 hop means that our Metasploitable is running on virtual machine. So when you run this command, Nmap will try to figure out the operating system. As you can see in the result, it correctly identify Linux as the operating system. It even provided even more detailed information about our system, the version of Linux, which is kindly awesome. Additionally, it also mentioned that machine is running on a virtual machine. Nmap can deduce this from MAC address of the machine. Virtual machines like those created with VirtualBox have a specific MAC address prefix that Nmap can recognize. This is really useful because it might alert us that we are scanning a honeypot, a purposely vulnerable machine set up to attract and monitor the attackers. So as if this is the MAC address, it has some properties that it identifies, that Nmap identifies that it is running on a virtual box. So for example, in some companies, some cybersecurity experts intentionally puts a vulnerable machine into their server so that attackers directly get attracted towards it, and it is called honeypot. So by that method, they get alert that someone is trying to attack on their server. Now let's scan my Windows 11 practical. Now let's scan my Windows 11 physical machine. So first I need to know the IP address of my machine. So for that I will exit my VirtualBox. I will go here and I will type cmd and I will type ipconfig here. So my IPv4 address is this. That is 192.168.29.20. So let's go back to our machine and now we will target our host machine here. So this is the IP address, that is 192.168.29.20, and we will hit enter with the same command. You can use the previous command using upper arrow key, so you don't need to type everything back to back. So let's just wait for a second. It is scanning my host machine and let's see what output we get. So we have got some output here, and as you can see, the host is up, but all the 1000 scanned ports are in the ignored state and we don't have any output about our operating system. So why is that? Because as we mentioned earlier, Nmap needs at least one open and closed port to detect the operating system. Since there is no response from the target machine, Nmap cannot determine which operating system our target is using. So now let's try it on our Windows 7 virtual machine, and I know for a fact that this machine has many ports open and also many ports closed. So let's type that command again and we will navigate to our Windows 7 machine this time. we will open command prompt here, type ipconfig, and here is our IP address that ends with 175. So let's minimize this now, and we will modify our IP address with 175 here. Press enter, and it is scanning. It might take a bit seconds. It took 2 seconds, and as you can see in the OS details, it is showing that it is running on Microsoft Windows 7. Also when it was launched and its version, and we have some additional details as well. It is also showing that it is running on VirtualBox. So if it was a honeypot set up by a hacker, we would have known that it is for us to trap us. While Nmap didn't get the exact version right, but it narrowed it down to Windows, which is still useful. The most important thing here is that even with the limited information, Nmap can often get close enough to give us a good lead. So the key takeaways from this lecture is we learned how to detect OS, and we need some ports open and closed to detect OS. If all the ports are closed, we cannot detect the operating system. We got to know that Nmap can detect virtual machines, which could be valuable for identifying honeypots systems set up especially to catch attackers. Virtual machines often have specific MAC addresses as well that Nmap identifies. So now in the next video, we will look at how we can extract the exact version of operating system of service running on open ports, which will help us to conduct more detailed vulnerability analysis. So stay tuned.